we want to be able to pull iron. Let's see, are there any other supply lines for iron that we can pull from? I guess we could pull from here, except that'll drain really quickly if we're not careful. Well, we'll just pull... Let me think. Let me divine how I want to do this. Okay, we can run explosives and then sulfuric acid at the end of the line over there. So we want to make sure explosives take precedent. Is that how we want to run it? Maybe? Not sure. I'm thinking. How are we doing on drain? Why is it not draining? Yeah, that's going in the right direction. Is it just really slow? I guess so. Either that or it's draining as fast as this is putting it in there, so that's why the numbers aren't actually moving. That's possible. Yeah, as long as that's lower, it means that there's negative pressure there, and this is just taking a while. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. Alright, sulfur. Sulfur is going to get used for sulfuric acid and explosives. So we have the line that comes down here. Sulfuric acid. You know what? Let's try to do this as efficiently as possible with what we already have. How about that? We don't need to move this whole thing around. We'll just do like this. Most of this is just so we can add a couple more processing plants for this kind of stuff, and also for more efficient space in the long run. So it's like, alright, this we can move because now it's kind of far away. We got 1,000 in there. I'm not going to be able to hold that, so if I pick that up, it's going to explode. I'm not picking it up. Nope, not going to do it. Let's take apart this water for now, and then we'll figure that out here in a second. All these other pipes can go. Okay. I'm so conflicted over how I want to do these remaining pipes. I guess I'm probably going to break this up into multiple parts. Yeah, at this point, why not? We'll do it in 30-minute segments, since this will probably take about an hour and a half to actually do. Yeah, oh yeah, it's draining. Okay, we're good. I was real concerned there for a second that something wasn't working, or I had one of them backwards or something. Okay. Let's just pick all of this up. And... yes. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's pick all of this up. And we'll go from basic products on down, basically. So, bear with me. I have a vision now of what it is I want to do. Just need to remember explosives. I don't have enough room for all of this junk. Okay, let's get rid of some of this really quick. And iron and yellow. I don't know why I still have you guys sitting around. Oh, I know what I had those for, but we'll get them back later. That's fine. And oh, what else? What else can we get rid of for now? We can get rid of the small leaf activity modules, oil derricks, and yellow track, and steel chest. Yes. There we go. Cleaned it up for now. And you know what? We can actually disassemble a large part of this and then just summon it back whenever we need it. Okay. Okay. And then we'll reassess where we want to actually move the coal and everything. Hopefully they'll actually pick the coal up as well. Oh yes. Excellent. They won't pick up that coal though on the ground. That sucks. Let's actually... we'll disassemble you as well. And they'll move all of that to chests. And... okay. Got a few more explosives just hanging out right there, and some sulfur and some other stuff. Okay. So, let's just revamp this. I'll do the design and then all of the other tedious stuff, like actually setting the boxes to produce only X amount, Y, Z, etc. I'll do off camera. That's going to be the plan for now. That's the plan tentatively for what we're doing here. First of all, let's go ahead and we'll set up our light oil production stuff, which is just solid fuel. So we'll hook that up directly. What do we need for solid fuel? Light oil. Done. Super done. So easy. We'll put that immediately into an active or a passive provider chest. There we go. So now, oh, let's do it with a smart arm. Since we only want like less than 200. Since we have 2 trains, we'll leave it at 200 for now. Solid fuel. Solid fuel. Okay. How many do we have right now? We have 1K. So actually, let's put it to 1K, because I have my suspicions that that's what we wanted originally. Should have made a note of some of these things and what we had them at. Yeah, the output's good on that. We have heavy oil and light oil are needed to make flamethrower fuel, so let's just go ahead and set that up. For funsies, let's go military. And, oh, also iron. Okay, well that's fine. We'll make that work. Let's go... we'll put that in the middle. Okay, flamethrower fuel. Kind of annoyingly placed. Priority-wise, let's go like that. Okay. And... blam! Super easy. And then we'll do requester chest. And arm. And smart arm. And active provider. Where's my active? There we go. Active provider. Okay, cool. So now that's going to get taken care of. We'll redo the power and logistics robots over here as well. No big deal. Where are we at? Okay, that's cool. That's fine that they don't have power right now. There we go. Now those are hooked up. And what are we waiting on? Oh, iron. Okay, iron. Iron, 100 iron. Sure. Less than... oh. We need to rebuild the logistics network here. Or else it won't actually do anything. We'll butt that right up against the heavy oil tanks here, and that'll keep it connected to everything. Close enough. That'll work. Okay. Now, did I pick up a bunch of repair things? No, I hadn't set up anything for repairs there. Okay, that's less than 200 flamethrower fuel. There we go. Okay, making flamethrower fuel. That's another basics. What else do we need? We need basic lube production. This isn't finished transferring yet, so I'm kind of waiting on that. Yeah, these are empty, so we can at least clean up some of this mess. Okay. Excellent. And you know what? We'll go ahead and, since that's 0, and so is that, we'll just make a direct line here. Okay. Ah, now that has no power. Alright, that's a problem. Let's fix that. Cool. Alright, and that's going to drain just about as fast as it's going to pull in. No big deal. Okay. And... alright, now we have a much cleaner area to work with here and a better idea of how we want to do things. Water's going to come across here and supply that, and also supply these up here. So that can probably stay, but we're going to move it in the long run here so that it's a little bit easier. And let's go ahead and I'm going to just take away 2 of these and replace them with underground pipes so we can walk through. There we go. Let's go ahead and hook up water here, I think. Do I want to go ahead and... well, let's go ahead and we'll hook this up. Make sure all of these pipes work. There we go. Petroleum, petroleum only. Petroleum and petroleum only. Yep. Petroleum gas. Okay. And that's going to connect over there. Good. Now, light oil. Light oil. Light oil. It's good. Okay. Yeah, light oil only. Good. Always makes me a little nervous. I don't know exactly what happens if you mix the fluids. I just know there's no way to separate them. And, that could be real tragic if we're not careful. And I still have this little outflow pipe here. No, I wanna keep that. Let's do like this. This is just for mobility's sake. There we go. A little bit of a waste of iron there, but I think it's fine. Yeah, heavy oil, light oil over there, petroleum way over there. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's figure out how we're gonna run water. We're gonna disconnect the power here for just a teensy second. Okay. Yeah, this should give us enough leeway here. And can't quite go over that far. That sucks. And whoop, let's get rid of this wooden pole. I can't remember what these were for before. That's fine. Okay, and then water. Probably about like so. Where's my water pump? There we go. There we go. So we got water, power. Where can I connect this where it'll connect to everything else? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out where I actually managed to screw up the power. So silly. Well, we'll stick you right there for now. That'll make everything happy? No. Picky shits. Alright, fine. We'll do one right here. There we go. That'll keep everyone happy except for this guy up here. Oh my god. Never satisfied, are you? I slave over an open factory all day long. Blood, sweat, and tears, man. Can't you just be happy once? Okay. There we go. So now this should be working. Yep. Okay. Let's make sure this is powered on. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we're back to processing oil at a pretty decent clip. Why are you not processing oil, actually? Crude oil, water. Oh, I don't actually have them hooked up to the tanks. Alright. And over here, now you're hooked up to the tank. And you're hooked up to the tank. So why aren't you processing? Which one is full? None of them. Well, that bothers me. Oh, no water. Hold on. Duh. Okay, we had water coming in from down there before. We're going to change that. Let's go ahead and set it up with its own pump. Should be... Nope, can't do it. Okay. Ah, God, it's so close, but not quite close enough. Alright, there we go. Another water pump. And... there we go. Back in production. Processing, production, etc., whatever you call it. Okay, cool. This is drained. Let's go ahead and disassemble that. With these guys. And then we can disassemble all of this. And now we can focus on our other heavy oil production, which is lube. Let's go ahead and we'll disassemble all of this. This is going to get changed up a little bit, I think. Okay. And, alright. So, coal we need for explosives with sulfur and then petroleum. So we're actually going to run it back over the other way that we had it. All of that fiddling that we were doing with the pipes before is now a little bit wasted, but that's okay. Okay. I'm just going to pull all of this up. That's fine. Alright. And then grab all of this coal. And then... yes. Yes, yes. Okay. So, coal's going to come down over here, because that's where we're going to need it all for. Let's go ahead and we'll set up the track for that shenaniganery. Not a word, but I don't care. Look at my face and tell me if it is the face of a person who cares what words are and are not. Alright. Much less grammar and proper English diction. Let's do that. Okay. And, yeah, there we go. So coal's going to come down over here. It's going to join all the production. Well, we might run a pipe to kind of do this number with. Let me see. Yes, okay, if we do that, then we can run this down to plastic production. Okay, and then we need to do power like that, close enough. Pull up a light, put down a light. Okay, much better already. or at least getting there. So, alright. Lube production. Lube production's super easy. We're not going to make this overly complicated at all. Lube. And run pipes like this. All willy-nilly. Okay, as far as it'll let me go there. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Far improved. And power that on. Yeah, okay, so that's producing lube. This is getting processed into light oil. Light oil is being used here and here. Okay, and then this is getting... Interesting. Did I screw something up? Apparently. No, I had them in the right tubes. That must have been some kind of issue from before. There we go. Like I had the pipes mixed up before and then I never fixed it, and so it just got stuck thinking that light oil was in both ports. Okay, cool. So now we're making that into petroleum, which is by far our most requested resource out of all of these things. So yeah, there we go. All of our overflow from here will go into our petroleum. Our petroleum will get eaten up fairly quickly. And yeah, everything else will be pretty cool. So there's our basic production, and now we need to work on advanced production of plastics, explosives, and so on. Let's go down all the way like this. We kind of want to hook the plastic over there just to keep that alive. I wouldn't mind doing like an actual physical thing with plastic here. Although we could also reverse this, turn these into requester chests, have that populate this line, and then have active provider chests over there for everything else. So, okay, so this is going to be for plastic. This is going to go underground there. We're going to take this sulfur, and let's do explosives production over here, actually. Okay. So we're going to need a splitter and underground track for plastic. And this for explosives. Okay. Now let's review what we need for explosives. It's 1 coal, 1 sulfur, and water. That should be easy enough to figure out. And then this is just going to be explosives and some other junk. Okay, fine. Just making sure I didn't need coal for anything else, since the only other things we need coal for we have hooked up to the other logistics system, so... Okay. And, alright. So that's not hooked up to water yet. Let's go ahead and fix that. Make sure we can get this into production. Okay. Should be able to maneuver around this pretty easily. Yeah, that's hooked up there. This is hooked up here. Yeah, give us just a little more distance here on either side. Alright. And yes. Okay, got that. Can we get some, not those, actual water pumps? Let's do 1. Okay, they'll bring me 1 here in a second. Then we'll get producing on sulfur. What else do we need? Oh yeah, we needed the sulfur for this stuff. There we go. Sulfuric acid production. And yes. So let's go ahead and... Where's that pump? We'll do that like... Oh, it's not going to let me build it there? You son of a bitch. Alright, fine. We'll do it like that. I'm assuming it was because of the way the corners were set up there that I couldn't do it. Alright, there we go. Look at the yellow flow. Okay. Now, we're going to take plastic down here. That'll be some plastic production there, and then explosive production, and then sulfuric acid production. You know what, let's go ahead and split that. We'll do a splitter here. Whoops, not quite there. We want it there. And then... like that. We'll do you underground. You're going to plastic production town. And you are going to sulfuric acid production town. So let's go ahead and we'll set this up really quick for plastic production. Here we go. How do we want to set this up exactly? Yeah, we can do it like this, and then run this track down like that. Okay, I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll do 1, 2. We shouldn't need more than 3. That might be silly. That'll be more than we had before, at least. So, okay. Yeah, that's just all petroleum. Actually, you know what? We can do 2 and 2 like this. And we just need enough space for an arm on each one of these. Okay. It's not going to be quite as pretty as I could make it. But let's go like that. Okay. And then we need red arms. No, we can do it with just blues. Okay, that's cool. And right here, and right here. Cool deal. Alright, so that's that. Sulfur production. It's going to be a little bit different. Do I have this underground? Oh, I do. Will it reach all the way over here? It will! Alright, cool. So we have kind of an accidental hydrochloric acid setup there. That's good news. Ooh, are we going to be able to make power lines reach, though? Okay, well, let's see if we can do hydrochloric acid here pretty easily. Okay. Let's see what they demand from our inputs. Okay, just water and water. Alright, so we should be able to... Yes, that's going to power everything. Perfect. Sort of. Hold on, I've almost got it. How far down can I go? I can go that far. That's how far down I can go. Okay, so there we go. That's water. We've got sulfur. We need to find a way to make sure we get iron in there, which I think I can just do with long arm inserters and requester chests. And then power. Power there. Power there. Excellent stuff. It's a little bit of a tangle, but it works. That's the important note. Okay, and then blue arms here for the sulfur. Requester chests. Yeet. Okay. Track down this way. And power it on. Hopefully. There we go. Requester chest. We need iron times... Whoa. Screw it. 100. Who cares? I don't. Alright, cool. So then we should be able to start doing that. Ooh, however... We need to have a way to do an output. Whoops. Didn't think of that one. Okay, hold on. Let's disassemble this quickly before it gets out of hand. Alright, cool. Output, output, output. Okay, we need at least one more space here. So let's see if we can redo some of this. How far down can we go here? Let's go as far down as we can go. Okay. Water input. Alright, and like that. And then we just need to have the ability to do this and that. And then we'll put the arms accordingly, like so, in this slot, and this slot, and then here and here. Move this. Fuck. Jesus Christ, are you serious? Okay, hold on. Let's toss all this coal really quick. Okay. Pick up all of this shit. And There's these. We'll just put them right down here. Okay, so there's that. I'm just wondering if maybe I should be shifting things around over this way and just sort of reverse everything, but I really don't want to move stuff around with pumps again. Power. I'll do, can I do control like that? No. Oh, shift. No, that didn't do it. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I tried to copy paste my last copy paste and I think I just hit the wrong keys, really. Alright, we'll do that and that. That'll satisfy all of those requirements. Let's pull this up. Make this a little bit cleaner. And then like this over here. Okay, cool. So now we are producing again. Okay, now we just need to make sure we link these together. A little bit of walking space there. Not entirely necessary, but I like it. Okay. And, yeah, there we go. We can just hook it up directly to this line, and all the overflow will back up over here, so that way we don't have to run pipe too terribly crazily over that way. Alright, and like that, and like that. Excellente. All done. Yeah, that'll go there. Fills up those batteries. Fills that up. And then it'll go through that tank over here to this production, and we're good. Cool. Alright, that's sulfuric acid. Last but definitely not least, is explosives. And all that other fun stuff. Okay, let's make sure we've got full network coverage over here. Can you drill me now? Alright, there we go. Power that on. Alright, so, and then we have all of the space here. Maybe we'll come up with something we can do there with that space. Oh, hey, I almost forgot we still need plastic production. So, oh, we've got plastic production set up. Why aren't you picking up coal? Oh, because you don't have any space anymore. Let's go ahead and we'll just immediately throw all of these into... Hold on, that's not right. Pull these up. And smart arms here. What is that? Active provider chest. That's what we want. Keep everything central. Okay, we'll let those set up. Less than 2,000 plastic. There we go. Power. And then we'll do like we said we were going to do with these and just reverse them. Nothing too terribly complicated. Let's do requester chests. Bam. Bam. Alright. Wait for those to come in. And we want 100 plastic in each of these at all times. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, once again, big huge space in here. Don't know what I'm going to do with this space, but we have it. That's important. And then now all we need to do is explosives, and then I will end this, what looks like it's going to be 3-part megasode. So that's okay. I like the rule of 3. Rule of 3 is my friend. Is there anything else we need to do up here? It looks like all of this stuff is moving along rather nicely. Yeah, it's churning. That's the only indicator that that thing is working, is that little bit of green churning. I don't particularly like that. Yeah, that's not churning. Okay. So explosives. In order to make explosives, we're going to need coal, sulfur, and water. So we'll have to run our water line. There's that water line. We'll need a little bit more water coming over this way. So let's go ahead and we can divert this water a little bit more. Okay. Over here. Do we have like a lake over here? Not really. Closest lake is to the south. That'd be a silly long way to run a lot of water. We can't really divert any of this water. I guess what we could do is just this. We'll do... Okay. There we go. Occam's razored the shit out of that. Oh, God! There we go. Pull you down. Okay. So... Now... For explosives, we want 4. Yes. Let's run it like this so that one up from this particular square. They're so weird. Like, I can't ever tell which way they're actually being pulled and or pushed around. Or, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, because of the little overhanging there on the chemical plants, I can never tell which way that they're actually getting pushed and pulled around there, like, or where they actually, I guess, intersect with physical terrain. Is that the best way to put it? Or the grid, or whatever. Sorry, I'm so ahead of myself in thought right now that I'm not communicating things very well clearly. Let's do that, and then we'll just do above ground pipe for all of this. There we go. Okay, we got water input. 3 and 4. Oh, hey. I told it to do... Yeah, okay, so we got plastic over there. The plastic is flowing. For some reason... Oh, I never set these. So, less than 2,000 plastic. Probably be smart to tell it less than 2,000 of what exactly. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we've got, like, all that coal in reserve there now, but whatever. Okay. So, now these just need power, I believe. So let's go ahead and give them that. Alright. And then they'll need long hand inserters, which we will build 2 and then start summoning the rest. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Still have 1. Perfect. And we'll run you like this. Now for... We're almost there. We're almost completely rebuilt. Yeah, and we've got a little bit of extra capabilities. A lot more space. Better use of our oil. Again, the whole reasoning behind this was because we started filling up on heavy oil, which is why I had those extra 3 tanks that were built there at the beginning of the episode. And then, so now we needed to have enough space to be able to pull this off here and then be able to do a couple other goofy little things. But this is working out okay. This is about where we want to be. Now I just need to make these, which are built in what? Pray tell. They aren't built in chemical plants, are they? I don't think they are. Could be totally goofy. No, they are built in chemical plants. Okay, fine. So we'll do... no, wait, there's a reason why that was red. We need blue assemblers? Is that what we need? If I needed blue assemblers, why don't I have them in my inventory from whenever we deconstructed them before? Unless I told it to do it manually. No, yeah, it's blue and yellows. Okay, fine. Why don't... Well, that's still a good question, though. Why don't I have blue assemblers? Unless I just dumped them earlier when I wasn't paying attention. It's construction robots for whatever... Oh, from rebuilding and tearing down the other things. Okay, fine. Alright, we are done with chemical plants for now. Let's go. Blue assembly machine, 5, sure. And then we'll do a pyramid structure here. And I'll show you what I mean. And this will be kind of a prelude to how I want to start doing some other things in the future here. Alright, how much space do we need? We need enough for... We're going to do loop around, so we'll have requester chests, track, arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then... How many rockets? Just 1 rocket. Okay, there's no... Let's just... We won't do the pyramid thing for this just now. Okay, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3. What else do we need for explosive rockets? It's just explosives and rockets. Okay, cool. So I know how I'm going to do this. Now for these, for just normal rockets, we're going to need a couple other things, so that's fine. And then, yeah, we're going to need electronic circuits and iron. So we'll do requester chest. 1, 2, 3. Red arms. 1, 2, 3. Blue arms. 1, 2, 3. And then track. One out. And then across the way like this. And then this is going to loop back down and around and provide these. Okay. So there we go. That's roughly how I want to do that. Now how much of this do we need? 20 and 10. 20 and 10 of which? Hold on. 20 iron plates, 10 circuits. 20. 10. Ooh. 20. Okay. Okay, cool. Like that. Explosive rockets. And then... Whoa, something got destroyed. Up there? Is that where the stuff got destroyed? Something got destroyed somewhere. Now I'm nervous. That seems to be missing track, but I think that could also just be... Yeah, it looks like it's still there over there. A little worrisome. Alright. Power it all on. Super excellent. Okay. So now we're back in business, more or less. Oh, wait, let me make sure I have output arms here. Let's do 1, 2, 3. And you know what? We'll do this with track. Just to satiate my need for always being super backlogged on munitions. Active provider chest. There we go. Oh, smart arm. Hold on. Less than 500 explosive rockets. Okay, cool. Is that right? How many explosive rockets? Yeah, we have 500. That's fine. Alright, cool. So I think that's a complete redesign, unless I'm forgetting something. Yeah, because we have plastic. We didn't move any of the sulfuric acid stuff. All of this is fine. This is everything we need petroleum for. We've got our light oil production here and our heavy oil production stuff. Yeah, so we finally accomplished everything I wanted to do here. I'm going to split this up into... let me think. I'm like at an hour and 20 minutes of footage altogether, so this will just be a giant megasode at 2 40-minute episodes. Although I might split it up in half. Or I don't know. If I had thought about it beforehand, that would be great. Here we go. I wanted to actually just sort of, you know, sit down and make a handful of episodes, and I ended up making one giant episode, which is fine, but I really didn't think redoing oil was going to take this long. So either way, yeah, I'm going to finally end this and then record the other episodes I want to do to catch up, and then all will be well. Either way, this has been Cardboard Decoy reinventing his oil production line, and now it looks pretty sweet, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have fun.